Myself, Mr. V.D. Jadhav from Department of Chemistry, TTHM College. Today, this is our fourth lecture. In this lecture, we discuss sample injection in HPLC, selection of the mobile phase, preparation of the mobile phase, HPLC column, stationary phase, etc. So, in the previous lecture, we explained HPLC equipment basics. In this fourth lecture, we will start first sample injection. The operating pressure within an HPLC is sufficiently high that we cannot inject the sample into the mobile phase by inserting a syringe through a septum. Instead, we inject the sample using a loop injector, a diagram of which is shown. Loop injector. By using loop injector, in the load position, a sample loop which is available in a variety of sizes ranging from 0.5 microliter to 5 ml is isolated from the mobile phase and open to the atmosphere. The sample loop is filled using a syringe with a capacity several times that of the sample loop, with the excess sample existing through the waste line. After loading the sample, the injector is turned to the inject position, directing the mobile phase through the sample loop and into the column. Next, mobile phase. Mobile phases. The elution order of solute in HPLC is governed by polarity. For a normal phase separation, solute of lower polarity spend proportionally less time in the polar stationary phase and are the first solute to elute from the column. Given a particular stationary phase, retention times in normal phase HPLC are controlled by adjusting the mobile phase properties. For example, if the resolution between two solutes is poor, switching to a less polar mobile phase keeps the solute on the column for a longer time and provides more opportunity for their separation. In reverse phase HPLC, the order of elution is the opposite of that in a normal phase separation, with more polar solute eluting first. Increasing the polarity of the mobile phase leads to longer retention times. Shorter retention times requires a mobile phase of lower polarity. Choosing a mobile phase using the polarity index. There are several indices that help in choosing a mobile phase, one of which is the polarity index. Table provides values of the polarity index P dash for several common mobile phases, where larger value of polarity index correspond to more polar solvent. Mixing together two or more mobile phases, assuming they are miscible, create a mobile phase of intermediate polarity. For example, a binary mobile phase made by combining solvent A and solvent B has polarity index P-AB of P-AB is equal to volume fraction of A into polarity index of A plus volume fraction of B into polarity index of B, where P dash A and P dash B are the polarity indices for solvent A and B, and phi A and phi B are the volume fractions for the two solvents. These are the table shown polarity index for mobile phases and UV cutoff in nanometer. Here cyclohexane polarity index 0.04 and UV cutoff 210 nanometer. Tetrahydrofuran polarity index 4.0, UV cutoff 220. Methanol polarity index 5.1 and UV cutoff 210. Water having polarity index 10.2 and there is no UV cutoff. As a general rule, a 2-unit change in the polarity index corresponds to approximately a 10-fold change in a solute retention factor. Here is a simple example. If a solute retention factor small k is 22 when using a water mobile phase, having polarity index of water is 10.2, then switching to a mobile phase of in the ratio of 60:40, a mobile of water methanol having polarity index 8.2, decrease the retention factor K to approximately 2.2. Here note that the retention factor becomes smaller because we are switching from a more polar mobile phase to a less polar mobile phase in a reverse phase separation. Choosing a mobile phase adjusting selectivity. Changing the mobile phase polarity index changes a solute retention factor. However, a change in retention factor is not an effective method for improving resolution when its initial value is greater than 10. To effect a better separation between two solutes, we must improve the selectivity factor alpha. There are two commonly used approaches for increasing selectivity factor. Add a reagent to the mobile phase that react with the solute in a secondary equilibrium reaction, or try a different mobile phase. Next, choosing a mobile phase isocratic and gradient illusion. A separation using a mobile phase that has fixed composition is an isocratic illusion. Mobile phase having fixed composition is an isocratic illusion. One difficulty with an isocratic illusion is that an appropriate mobile phase strength for early eluting solute may lead to unacceptably long retention times for later eluting solute. Optimizing the mobile phase for late eluting solute, on the other hand, may provide an adequate separation of early eluting solute. Changing the mobile phase composition as the separation progresses is one of the solutions to this problem. For reverse phase separation, We use an initial mobile phase that is more polar as the separation progresses. We adjust the composition of mobile phase so that it becomes less polar. Such separation are called gradient illusion. A reverse phase HPLC separation is carried out using a mobile phase of 60% volume per unit volume of water and 40% volume per unit volume of methanol. What is the mobile phase polarity index? This is one of the example to calculate polarity index. For that example, solution using equation and evaluate in the polarity index for ratio 60:40 water methanol mixture is here. Polarity index of AB is equal to volume fraction of water into polarity index of water plus volume fraction of methanol into polarity index of methanol. The overall calculation of this is 8.2. 8.2 is a polarity index for water methanol mixture. Selection of mobile phase. Since the mobile phase governs solute stationary phase interactions, its choice is critical. Practical consideration dictate that it should not degrade the equipment for the column packing. For this reason, strong acids, bases, and halide solutions should be avoided. Chemical purity of solvent is an important factor since large volumes of solvent are pumped through the column and eventually be determined to the result. Spectro or HPLC grade solvents are recommended. Volatility should be considered if sample recovery is required. Viscosity should be less than 0.5 centipoise, otherwise higher pump pressure are required and mass transfer between solvent and stationary phase will be reduced. Selection of HPLC mobile phase buffers. Buffers are used in HPLC mobile phase preparation in order to achieve reproducible chromatography. They are needed when an analyst is dealing with an ionizable sample species. In reverse phase chromatography, samples are separated based on their hydrophobicity. The less polar a sample is, the longer it is written on the column. When an analyte is ionized, it becomes more polar and subsequently less written on the column. Acids become ionized as the pH increases. Conversely, bases becomes ionized as the pH decreases. To develop methods, buffers should be employed that are at least 2 pH units away from the analyte pKa. This is drawn from the Henderson-Hasselbalch equation. pH is equal to pKa plus log of A dash upon HA. Essentially, operating at a pH near to the pKa of the sample analyte means that it will be in a partially dissociated state. The analyte will partially in its weak acid or base form and partially in its conjugate form. This will cause peak distortion in the chromatography or poor peak reproducibility. Operating with a mobile phase at least 2 pH unit away from the analyte. pKa. Ensure that in excess of 99% of the sample will be in a single state. Once the proper pH range for the mobile phase is determined, choosing the correct buffer can begin. Buffer capacity is optimized at or near pH equal to the pKa of the buffer. As a rule of thumb, most buffer work suitably well within plus minus 1 pH unit of their pKa. Once a buffer range and type are identified, the proper concentration must be used. Ideally, unless using the buffer as ion pair reagent, the buffer should have negligible effect on the overall separation and retention of your sample analytes. The concentration should be set just high enough to control the mobile phase pH, but still low enough to avoid possible precipitation of the buffer's salts in the presence of organic solvent. Typically, buffer concentration in the range of 20 to 50 millimolar is suitable. Addition of mobile phase additives. When a peak tailing is observed, increasing the salt concentration can reduce peak tailing for both bases and acids. For ionizable compounds, an increase in ionic strength can suppress solute and silica ionization, as well as secondary interaction between them. Increase beyond 50 millinewton is not recommended due to possible solubility problem of the salt in the organic portion of the mobile phase. Triethylamine or diethylamine can be added to the mobile phase to control peak tailing for bases. Triethylamine or diethylamine acts as a competing base and minimizes solute-silanol interaction. This is usually a final step to try because triethylamine or diethylamine will reduce retention, modify the column and complicate the mobile phase. For reducing the peak tailing for acids, 1% acetic acid is added to the mobile phase to minimize solute-silanol interaction as it acts as competing acids. Next, addition of different organic modifiers or ion pair reagent in mobile phase. Acetonitrile is the first best organic solvent, second is methanol and third is THF, tetrahydrofuran. These three solvents are widely used to control selectivity and separations. Select acetonitrile as the default organic modifier. Because of favorable organic modifier and low viscosity, to avoid bumping problems associated with 100% acetonitrile, use acetonitrile always with about 10 aqueous portion. Tetrahydrofuran has some advantages: higher UV absorbance, reactivity with oxygen, and slower column equilibration. Sodium perchlorate can be used as an ion pair reagent to get the required selectivity for acidic compound. Order of solvent strength: propanol is greater than tetrahydrofuran, greater than ethanol, greater than acetonitrile, is greater than methanol. Order of polarity: methanol greater than acetonitrile, greater than ethanol, greater than tetrahydrofuran, greater than propanol. Selection of diluent: select diluents in which impurities, starting material, byproducts, intermediates, and degradation products and the analyte is soluble. Diluent should be compatible with mobile phase to obtain good peak shape. Select diluents for finished dosage forms in which the analyte should be extracted at least 95%. Calculate the percentage of extraction against pure compound. The peak shape of all compounds should be good in the selected diluents. Next, HPLC column. An HPLC typically includes an analytical column responsible for the separation and guard column. The guard column is placed before the analytical column, protecting it from contamination. First, analytical columns. The most common type of HPLC column is a stainless steel tube with an internal diameter between 2.1 mm and 4.6 mm and a length between 30 mm and 300 mm. The column is packed with 3 to 10 micrometer porous silica particles with either an irregular or a spherical shape. Typical column efficiencies are 40,000 to 60,000 theoretical plates per minute. Assuming V maximum upon V minimum of approximately 50, a 25 cm column with 50,000 plates per minute has 12,500 theoretical plates and a peak capacity of 110. Capillary column. Capillary column use less solvent and because the sample is diluted to lesser extent, produce larger signal at the detector. The column are made from fused silica capillaries with internal diameters from 44 to 200 micrometer and lengths of 50 to 250 millimeter. Capillary column packed with 3 to 5 micrometer particle have been prepared with column efficiencies of up to 250,000 theoretical plates. One limitation to a packed capillary column is the back pressure that develops when trying to move the mobile phase through the small interstitial space between the particulate micron size packing material. Because the tubing and fitting that carry the mobile phase have pressure limit, a higher back pressure requires a lower flow rate and a longer analysis time. Next, in that monolithic column, in which the solid support is a single porous rod, offer column efficiencies equivalent to a packed capillary column, while allowing faster flow rate. A monolithic column, which usually is a similar in size to a conventional packed column, although smaller capillary columns also are available, is prepared by forming the monolithic rod in mold and covering it with Teflon, that is polytetrafluoroethylene tubing or a polymer resin. Monolithic rod made of silica gel polymer typically have macropores with diameters of approximately 2 micrometer and mesopores, pores within the macropores with diameter of approximately 30 nanometer. Next, guard columns. Two problems tends to shorten the lifetime of an analytical column. First, solute binding irreversibly to the stationary phase degrade the column performance by decreasing the available stationary phase. Second, particulate material injected with the sample may clog the analytical column. To minimize this problem, we place a guard column before the analytical column. Guard columns usually contain the same particulate packing material and stationary phase as the analytical column, but are significantly shorter and less expensive, a length of 7.5 mm and a cost 1/10 of that for the corresponding analytical column. Because they are intended to the sacrificial guard column are replaced regularly. Next, selection of column. Knowledge of the sample influences the choice of column bonded phase characteristics, column chemistry, column properties, terms and definitions, polarity, polar selectivity, size, hydrophobic selectivity, concentration of high energy sites. The sites normally should be suppressed for good peak shapes. Solvatic retention model in reverse phase liquid chromatography to describe column characteristics. Polar selectivity. Polar selectivity is a capability of a column under specified conditions to separate solutes that differ in their polarity and have no differences in the size. Column by phase. C18 columns, C8 columns, biphenyl columns, cyano columns, phenyl columns, silica columns, other phase columns. column by use. pH stable columns, columns for acidic analytes, columns for basic analytes, column for hydrophobic neutral analytes, column for hydrophilic neutral analytes, column for aromatic or unsaturated analytes, column for mixed analytes, column for LCMS, uh, column for large molecules, column for small particles, column unique phases columns, other phases. Choosing the appropriate HPLC column should be based both upon knowledge of the sample and goals for the separation. These are the all columns uses according to their requirement. Stationary phase for gas liquid chromatography. In liquid chromatography, the stationary phase is a liquid film coated on a packing material, typically 3 to 10 micrometer porous silica particles. Because the stationary phase may be partially soluble in the mobile phase, it may elute or bleed from the column over time. To prevent the loss of stationary phase, which shortens the column lifetime, it is covalently bound to the silica particles. Bonded stationary phases are created by reacting the silica particles with an organochlorosilane of the general form SiCH3 twice RCl, where R is the alkyl or substituted alkyl group. To prevent unwanted interactions between the solutes and any remaining SiOH groups, SiCH3 thrice Cl is added, converting the unreacted sites to SiOSiCH3 thrice. Such columns are designated as N cap. The properties of a stationary phase depend on the organosilane's alkyl group. If R is a polar functional group, then the stationary phase is polar. Example of polar stationary phases includes those where R contain a cyano C2H4Cn, a diol C3H6O CH2CHOH CH2OH, or an amino C3H6NH2 functional group. Because the stationary phase is polar, the mobile phase is a non-polar or moderately polar solvent. The combination of a polar stationary phase and a non-polar mobile phase is called normal phase chromatography. The reverse phase chromatography, which is the more common form of HPLC. The stationary phase is non-polar and the mobile phase is polar. The most common non-polar stationary phases use an organochlorosilane, where the R group is an N-octyl C8 or N-octyl dicyl C18 hydrocarbon chain. Thank you.